Back to Battleground BC now. It has been 2 weeks since the alarm first went off over the term quick wins as a method for leveraging ethnic votes in British Columbia. Christy Clark, the Premier, said the government would get to the bottom of what is wrong, but is there enough time before the election really kicks off in the province? So for more on this, NDP caucus chair Shane Simpson joins me now from our Vancouver studio. Good to have you on the show.
Oh, great to be here, Daniel.
Well, the issue of the so-called ethnic votes, I hate that term ethnic votes, as if people are just one singular solid group and vote with a group mind, but I'm not sure that there's a better term out there. It's been a little while since we've heard this. It sort of seems to be coming back into the headlines now. Is there an issue really here for voters to grab onto, or has the train passed, so to speak?
Well, I think there is an issue, and this is the multicultural scandal, because it was a multicultural strategy to reach out, and it was a strategy where the Liberal Party, and it seemed to be hatched out of the Premier's office, had a strategy to use civil servants paid for by taxpayers in civil service jobs, not in caucus jobs, to in fact feed information to the Liberal Party that would help them to campaign in a number of multicultural communities. This was discovered. We received some information, released that information. The response of the government, among other things, was to get John Dibble, who's the Deputy Minister to the Premier, to do an investigation. Now, to be fair, Mr. Dibble, I think, did not a bad job. But the problem was he wasn't allowed to interview or look at the Liberal Party where this information went. He wasn't allowed to look at the Liberal caucus or to, in fact, look at cabinet staff to cabinet ministers. And so we've said that's a pretty incomplete piece, especially since we know one of the employees in this, Mr. Bonney, Brian Bonney, Mr. Dibble identified, he sent over 1,100 emails to his private email address. We have no idea where those emails went. We have no idea whether this information about individuals that was incorporated in those emails went to the Liberal Party, and we've asked for that. One of the recommendations of Mr. Dibble was the Justice Ministry should investigate to make sure this information is protected. The Minister of Justice has alluded to doing that, but we have no evidence about what the breadth of that would be. So it still continues to be a real concern. When
a voter is looking at this, all right, not a politician, not someone who follows this day by day, but just your run-of-the-mill voter that gets up every morning, goes to work, comes back, and kisses the kids off to bed. What is it that they need to look for? What is it that they need to see here that concerns them, aside from all of the stuff that can occupy the time of journalists and politicians?
Well, I think there's two things. First of all, there's a lot of information. There was engagement with individual citizens. Potentially a lot of their private information may have gone to the Liberal Party. And they have to say, is it okay to have given this information to the Liberal Party without consent from those people? That's the first question. The second question is it okay to use civil servants to in fact support the work of a political party? Is that okay? I think those are questions that people have. This was serious enough that a cabinet minister lost their job over it, and a number of senior officials, including the assistant chief of staff, the deputy chief of staff to the Premier, lost their job over this. So it was a major issue, and people have to say, was information protected? Is it okay to be given that information to the Liberal Party without the authority and without the approval of those citizens?
All right. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes forward from here, with the writ dropping in British Columbia not in just a couple of weeks. Thank you very much, Shane.
Thank you.